Welcome into King Wales album review party. Today we have another one. We are talking about Take Care by Drake. And the plan was that this episode was going to be all about Take Care because it's been a very influential album for us. It came out right around the time that we were starting high school. So it was a very powerful album for us. However, Drake decided to go ahead and mess everything up by dropping another diss, so now we have to address that first before we get into Take Care. So, if you haven't heard his diss yet, it's called Tailor Made, and it's interesting, and yeah, we just kind of gotta unpack it. I mean, what are you thinking after you heard this track?
I I have two big takeaways. Number one, I hate the use of AI, especially on a dead person, no matter the context, whether it's through a track, whether it's in movies, when I forget even what Star Wars movie that they resurrected
Carrie
that one.
Fisher,
Oh,
or
did they
was
do that
it?
for? I was
They
talking
did it
about
for
the
Carrie
old
Fisher, and they did it
Grand
for
Moff
Grand Moff
Tarkin.
Tarkin in Rogue One. Yeah.
Hate it as a concept because I don't think it will ever be done ethically. So I hate that Drake got an AI of Tupac and an AI of Snoop Dogg. Just pay Snoop Dogg money. He would have done that diss. He would have done that track. He did a track with Psy. He would have done the track with Drake.
You think
Just
he would have
pay.
dissed Kendrick?
Yes.
You think so?
With a big enough price tag, 100%. And we know Drake's good for it.
Oh yeah, Drake's got the money. Yeah.
That being said, this is like the perfect checkmate kind of chess move on Drake's part. And we'll break it down, but I
Hmm.
love what this did for the back and forth of it because it puts Kendrick on the defensive now.
Yeah.
Like
It was,
he's totally on the defense now.
and it was very, like I said, the only thing that doesn't work about it is really just the AI stuff. And I
Mhm.
think the only reason why I'm not like okay with it, but the reason why I understand it is because at the end of To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick uses some like audio from Tupac. It's not AI because AI wasn't out yet, but he uses like audio from Tupac and like kind of pretends to have a conversation with him. And again, obviously Tupac is dead, so he can't really say whether he had it or he can't even say whether he likes Kendrick Lamar, but Kendrick finds him as a very big idol. And so I can at least understand why Drake did it. Like it didn't feel like he was doing it to use the AI craze, which would have made me mad and been like, this is stupid. If he was just doing
Mhm.
that for the sake of like AI is here, let's use it, I would have been stupid. But because I do know that Kendrick has audio from Tupac on one of his tracks because he finds Tupac to be a very big influence, then I'm like, okay, I see why you did this. I see the reasoning behind it because Drake is basically saying, like, even if your own legend was alive right now, he would be telling
He would
you
be.
to come get some.
Yes, he Drake hit Kendrick with the Tupac "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed."
Yeah.
Like he totally hit them with the come on. Like, dude, step it up, would you? Please? And and see that's the thing in that verse by the Tupac AI by Drake. Um like I think it's so brilliant that Drake is using Tupac to deliver Kendrick ammo against him. Like the whole verse of talk about him like in young girls, that's a gift from me. Like that is well true. It's such a brilliant move on Drake because if Kendrick doesn't use it, it feels like he was afraid to because he didn't want to use anything Drake gave him. But if he did use it, it would be, oh, you're just saying this because Drake told you to say it.
Yeah, it kind of was like the perfect like while Drake is on the offensive, it feels like a defensive move too, because now it's like Kendrick can't really use that now
Yeah.
because Drake just gave it to him. It's kind of like when have you seen 8 Mile?
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the end battle when Eminem is going against Anthony Mackie's character.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, I live in a trailer park. Yeah, I know this guy I got with my girl. Yeah, I know all this. And at the end, he's like, tell these people something they don't know about me. It's like, they already know all this. What are you going to use to
Right.
diss me with? I already covered it. I already owned all that stuff. You,
Exactly.
it's like, so, yeah, I feel like the internet reception is mixed because like you don't want like I don't think Drake's gonna turn into like that, kid that's like poking and trying to get a reaction from someone and they're just
Hmm.
completely ignoring him. Because again, Kendrick started this. This is not like Drake started the beef and now is trying to get Kendrick to respond to the beef. Kendrick started the beef. All
Hmm.
right. If you start it, you gotta back it up. And like,
Right.
even Drake saying, like, I love when he was like, you want this to die down? Nah, nah, nah,
Nah,
come to the
nah,
plate.
nah, nah. Yeah.
And I mean, I really think this has the chance to be like the next, Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z, Nas. I could see Drake and Kendrick's beef being up there in that level if Kendrick responds, because Drake has already proven that he has at least. I didn't know that Drake had the guts and the chops to go back and forth, but
Yeah,
he's
I
proven
didn't.
that he has them.
I honestly, I thought like maybe he had like lost a little, like push-ups was like solid. I really loved it. I really enjoyed push-ups as like a retaliation, but I didn't know he was this hungry
Hmm.
for this diss.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's like, no, 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 no. I'm never losing a diss again. I am going in hard.
And I think part of it is like I think when he released push-ups, he probably was expecting Kendrick to respond. But I think when he released push-ups and realized how well he did, he's like, oh shoot, we gotta keep this going. You know what I mean? Like it's not like if Drake, like when J. Cole released 7 Minute Drill and everybody was like, dude, that's trash. And then J.
Hmm.
Cole's like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to diss him. Like that wasn't really sitting right with me. Meanwhile, for Drake's end, he's like, he released this diss track, and everybody's like, dude, Drake, that was gas. That was crazy. You killed him. And Drake's like, I did kill him.
I'm not,
I
I
did kill
did.
him. Yeah,
And
yeah,
you know
man.
what?
Hey.
Another thing.
And another thing, exactly. And so he's like, come on, let's keep this going. Because I think Kendrick has the, wherewithal to turn this into like an Ether versus, Jay-Z kind of. And again, Nas and Jay-Z had the exact same kind of premise in their beef and what turned it into one of the greatest ones ever.
Hmm.
Except the only difference was they were never friends at one point, which I think makes it even better. But,
Hmm.
Jay-Z was the guy with the commercial success, and Nas was the guy with the critical success.
Hmm.
And that's what made their beef so compelling. Most people say that Jay-Z kind of ended up winning like they say that Nas had the best track with Ether because it's one of the greatest hip hop tracks of all time. But they
Hmm.
say that Jay-Z kind of ended up winning the beef because again, you just can't deny his commercial success. And when they went to battle, Jay-Z didn't um fold. He went bar for bar with him, basically.
Right.
And then it just kind of ended and Jay-Z ended up. And I talked to some of my other friends and they all think this whole thing is going to be in next year. They're going to announce Drake and Kendrick are going on tour. I feel like
Yeah.
this diss track shows that like this was not an organic industry thing.
Hmm. I will say for the like back and forth, the critical success versus commercial. I think this is another great way to showcase the power of commercial like success because this isn't necessarily like a track that is going to get a lot of views, but it shows Drake's use of like timing because this
Mhm.
track could only come out this week with Taylor's album coming out. Because even if I don't even necessarily believe what Drake's saying here of like Kendrick is biding his time because oh he can't drop on the same week as Taylor. I don't even
Yeah,
buy that from an industry side because I
hmm
don't Kendrick's independent. He doesn't I don't think he has a
I
label
don't think so either.
stipulation to hold back, nor do I think his circle of people who really follow Kendrick and people who really follow Taylor is that,
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
overlap.
overlap. There's no Kendrick. Like, there's not a.
But the marketing of this, of doing this, dropping it right at the perfect time and calling them out of like, oh, you didn't drop because now it doesn't matter what Kendrick is thinking or doing. If he dropped right now, it's oh, well, Drake pushed him to drop now during Taylor's. And because he hasn't yet, he did it because he's afraid. Like Drake has taken control of the narrative
Mhm.
of the diss right now. He has taken control of the narrative, and that I think is like the genius of this. Because now like Drake is saying, "No, no, no, I'm in control now." Like you say you're number one, like what about it? I'm the one who's controlling this whole thing. So
Yep.
where are you at?
He's like, and again, I don't really believe that either because I don't know. Like to me, the people that are tuned into the Drake Kendrick beef aren't gonna be like, oh Kendrick, I'm gonna get to your response. I just gotta listen to this Taylor Swift album real quick. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really know why Drake made that correlation. I guess it's just, I think he's trying to continue to harp on the fact that again, Kendrick um says that he doesn't need commercial success or like he doesn't need Drake's level of commercial success yet he needed a cosign from a very commercially successful artist,
Right.
one of the most commercially successful artists of all time. And I feel like it's an even bigger flex because we're about to talk about Take Care, but it's like again the artist that Kendrick did a song with for the commercial appeal because it's, I mean, he might have liked the song too, but it's like, why else do you do a song like Bad Blood if you're Kendrick Lamar, this critically acclaimed, I don't do pop, I don't do mainstream hits kind of
Mm-hmm.
artist?
Mm-hmm.
Drake, like, Drake literally made the number one artist in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he would be where he is without Drake.
Mm-mm.
And and we didn't even realize that that was him. And we're about to talk about the album that put him on the map.
That
Like
put
if
him
Drake
there.
didn't put him on this album, he wouldn't be where he's at right now. I really
Mm-hmm.
don't think he would be. So and we're gonna reveal who I'm talking about once we start talking about the album because I want to build the anticipation, you know what I mean?
Of
Uh
course.
so yeah, I think Drake has just taken control of everything. And I really want Kendrick to respond. I need him to respond. I don't know how much this will, I mean, I don't think it'll like affect Kendrick's, like, all it's affecting really is his reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if he doesn't respond, first of all, he's never going to be able to call Drake a soft rapper. Second of all, I don't think anybody is ever going to be able to call Drake a soft rapper ever again if Kendrick never responds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's gonna, like I said, I don't think it's gonna affect his numbers. I don't think he's gonna like drop in sales and stuff like that, but it's definitely affecting his reputation and it's definitely affecting like, I mean, the best rapper in the world shouldn't be afraid
I I
to come back
I
to a beef you started.
totally agreed. But I think while at the same time, I think his use of AI here really like it's double edged. Like,
Mhm.
wow, using Tupac AI to then hit him, telling him he's not a real thug, about like the whole like burning tattoos line, like
Yeah,
having Tupac call him out like that, I think is just gonna end up backfiring because
I
I
think so
think
too.
the fact that Drake couldn't get a real human on this aside from himself is just ripe for Kendrick to tear at him.
And I feel
And
like Drake, and again, I don't know if, yeah, I feel like in a way, because like while he did pretend to be Tupac and give him all that ammunition, um, it doesn't really work because not like it doesn't really work, but like the AI thing is the ammunition. Because Kendrick's gonna be
right,
like, you couldn't get any West Coast rappers to back you up,
right.
and that's
On
something he can already build off of.
genuinely, I feel that remove remove the Tupac and just give Snoop a more beefed up
Way
verse,
stronger. Oh yeah.
way stronger. And like actual Snoop, not this stupid AI Snoop Dogg. If he had gotten actual Snoop Dogg to rap a harsh diss at Kendrick, way stronger case. And it would have left Kendrick in like more bleeding. in this.
Yeah.
But this like it for as like, oh my God, did Drake really just do that? It at the same time, it's also stabbing him. And all Kendrick has to do, he barely has to like touch it, and it will hurt Drake back. So
It's like ironically in giving him material to in trying to protect himself, because like Drake, it's really hard for Drake to like diss himself. Like he can't be like, "Hey man, talk about how I like underage girls." Like that doesn't really
right.
work in his verse. So
Yeah.
by trying to protect himself by doing that with the AI, he ironically just gave Kendrick material to feed off of with the AI. But like I said,
Right.
had he gotten, and there's a plethora of people who could use the money that, like, if Drake really wanted to flex, just be like, I bought one of your collaborators. I bought one of your friends. He could have
Yeah.
got he could have got Eminem. That would have done like because Eminem and Kendrick did the Super Bowl together. He could
Hmm.
have got Eminem. He could have got Snoop Dogg. He could have got Dr. Dre. He could have got Absol. He could have got
Hmm.
J Rock. He could have got Isaiah Rashad from TDE. All those guys, Schoolboy Q from TDE. Any of those guys, just been like, give me a number. Now I don't know
Right.
if Drake tried that and nobody bought and nobody like was willing to do it.
But
Which in that case, I wouldn't have used the AI at all if I was Drake. Like if
right.
he really did offer Snoop Dogg like $100 million, which
And he
again we
couldn't,
know Drake has, and he
because
didn't
all it
do
would
it.
take was for Snoop Dogg to say, like, hey, dude, I told you I didn't want to do this. And you go and use an AI of me. Like, I feel like even if like regardless of the truth there, Kendrick can so easily just point at it and say, like, look at you. You couldn't even use your wealth and money to get somebody to rap against me. That's how feared I am. Like I can already see Kendrick
Yeah.
twisting it for his favor, and it's only going to be like 100 times better than anything I would think of because he's just that
Oh, what?
powerful.
You're not Kendrick? What are you saying?
I've
Oh,
I've never seen Kendrick and I in the same room together. So
oh, that's a
have
good
you?
point.
Have you?
I haven't, and
Jury's still out.
I've never been talking to you while I was at like a Kendrick concert.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
I I'm biding my time.
Just waiting.
No, it's a I think it's good and it has a lot of shock value and it's a part of it has feels like a really big brain move, but I don't know. I don't see this as a TKO. I don't see this as Drake
Yeah.
winning. It's just
Yeah.
putting Kendrick on defensive.
I feel like I said, I think push-ups overall was stronger because I feel like it did put Kendrick on defensive. And this one just feels like Drake is trying to like go for the jugular, and then he kind of missed and like nicked his shoulder a little bit. Like it was still a
Hmm.
nice blow.
Hmm.
And it's like I don't know. I don't want to feel like it's gonna be stronger. Like if he like went on interviews and stuff and was like, yeah, I don't know why Kendrick isn't responding. I guess he's scared. Like
Hmm.
to me, that's all he's trying to say with this track, and it feels like he could have just said that. But
Right.
like I said, if he had again flexed, used his money and power to buy one of Kendrick's, even if he got like Mary J. Blige to sing a hook, I mean, it wouldn't have been as strong as like having Kendrick, having Snoop or Dr. Dre feature, but I think it kind of would have been better than having this AI thing. And I don't think he even asked Snoop Dogg to do a verse because apparently Snoop Dogg reacted to it and like woke up and was like, "What?" And he
I didn't
posted a
rap
video
this.
on yeah, he posted a video on Instagram that's like, "They did what? To make what? I'm going to sleep, y'all." Then he just went to sleep. It's going viral right now if you want to check it out. But so I don't think he ever asked Snoop. And again, it's kind of awkward to because once you ask, it's one of those things that Snoop could just tell Kendrick, like, yo, Jake tried to buy me out. I'm too loyal to you. And then
Right.
Kendrick could have used that, So
Right.
maybe that's why Drake didn't want to. It's definitely a power move for sure, but it's one of those moves that's like you described it like a chess move. It's like if you But if you move the wrong way, you could put yourself in
Right.
checkmate.
You're
You
not,
could
he's
put your
not
own king in
totally
check.
right.
Hmm.
And but I think, at the same time, these are two people who are at like the top of their game and they both know what they're doing. Like Drake is using what he knows how to do, and he knows timing really well. He knows marketing really well. He knows how to drop a track and like dropping it right now at this time, like narrative wise, like that's his strength. Like he's
Hmm.
using his strengths here. Kendrick, all he has to do is cook up, like he said, a quintuple entendre.
Better be some quintuple entendre, some
Yeah,
mess
you
like
better
that.
have a quintuple entendre.
Yeah, and it's like, well, no, Drake, all he
Something I
really
don't
has
even
to do,
understand.
and the problem is like, again, when you use, and like I know Drake is pretty in tune to everything, but it's like if I was his manager and stuff, I would have been like, hey man, people hate AI so much already. Like the
Yeah.
general theme, there's not really anyone that's gonna be like, Kendrick, AI is untouchable. Don't diss AI. Like people hate it. People think it's
Hmm.
gonna take jobs. People hate it. They think it sucks. A lot of them use it, and a lot of companies are like, oh, we use it. But overall, nobody likes it. Nobody was like, oh, yeah, we needed this. So if
Yep.
Kendrick does any diss related to AI, it'll look really good, even if it's really not. He
Yes.
doesn't have to
But
put much work into it.
but I still have trust in Kendrick that he will make it really good.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Like Drake may have set it up where he doesn't need much, but I think
Hmm.
Kendrick is already going for like the one shot.
And to me, I think, like, again, if all those West Coast people didn't work, or if his publicist or whatever, if all of them like didn't work, and like why not just get the weekend? The weekend would have been a great feature. Like again, he doesn't rap obviously,
Hmm.
but it would have helped make Drake's point because the weekend was on featured prominently on
Hmm.
both albums that started this whole thing. And the
Hmm.
weekend has done a lot of collaborations with Kendrick, like on the Black Panther soundtrack. And I
Hmm.
don't know if he was on Mr. Morale, but like, and again, the weekend, Drake made him, and guess who's the number one artist in the world? Weekend. Like to me, that I guess I kind of revealed it before we started talking about the album. But again, to me, that would have been the ultimate. That would have been a better flex than the AI thing. Like,
Yeah,
the weekend would have done it
because
probably for free. Probably could have saved yourself $100 million
right. It's
because
like, oh,
it's
what you have access to like open source? Like what do you it's not a
what's
flex,
the
dude.
flex? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I
Chat
could have done. It's like I
GPT
could have done
to
the same thing.
exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really hard to get. I don't even know the word. Um, I just hope Kendrick responds, but I feel like I know where he's gonna go, and I just hope Drake's ready for a
Hmm.
response. And like I said, I don't think the Taylor Swift album really affected it much,
No.
but I guess that's what he's going with.
I think that's just another narrative thing because I really don't think it affected it at all. But it makes for if you're the first to take a shot, it makes for a good diss because a lack of response makes it feel like, oh yeah, you're waiting for Taylor to
Yeah,
have her hype cycle. It's a good, I think it's a solid diss, but I think by no means is this settling anything. It's just
no,
Drake better be ready for blood.
that haymaker that's gonna come. And
Yeah.
like I said, and I didn't realize like how much material Drake that Kendrick could have used that Drake like tried to lay it out, like again, the Eminem thing from 8 Mile. I didn't realize how much material Drake still had. But it's like at the same time, I feel like Kendrick would have had less material if Drake just didn't use the AI stuff because like a lot of that, none of that is stuff that people like really, really know. Like, I didn't know the stuff about the Budden podcast. I didn't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of knew about the Millie Bobby Brown thing. That was a little weird. So there's some
Mhm.
other stuff that like some people would have known, but like it didn't feel like it wasn't like beef specifically related, if that makes sense. Like it feels
Hmm.
like again, by trying to like take these things out of the table, you just kind of added in another really easy like target shot for him to aim at. Because
Yeah.
now it's going to make perfect sense if Kendrick goes after his use of AI because that's what he did. And it was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me it makes me long for a time when they would both be on an album together.
Yep. When I first heard the song, I had to like Google it and look it up like three different times because I didn't know what was going on. I thought
Hmm.
it was someone
Yeah.
used AI and leaked a verse of Drake and made it seem like, and I was like, this doesn't sound like Drake. This
With
isn't Drake.
yeah, with honestly with like the AI Tupac and Snoop Dogg, like that makes way more sense that it's just oh, someone made an AI verse of Tupac, which honestly I think I would probably prefer if like some fan did an AI because
Yeah.
it's not Drake using it like for an official capacity here. Like it's just a fan who's using this tool.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we'll it's hard because it's like it feels like Drake like kind of moved up, but like he also like took a step back. So it's like I guess the question that we'll wrap this up with is do you think overall after everything Drake is in a stronger position before this diss or after?
I think I think I think he's in a stronger position, but he's just a little bit more vulnerable. Like I think by I think like
Uh-huh.
he has like he's exposed more weaknesses in doing so, but because of the timing of it, I think right now he's in a better spot than Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in doing so, like he exposed some more glaring weaknesses that Kendrick could very easily like attack him at. How about
I
you?
I feel like I feel like overall this was the right move for him to make a track and for him to go at Kendrick again. Perfect timing, Taylor Swift's album, all of that makes sense.
Hmm.
I think the way that he did it
Hmm.
left him weaker than he was before. Because again, before there wasn't exactly a clear lane for Kendrick to attack with.
Hmm.
Now there is. Now there's a lane for Kendrick to attack with where everybody, no matter if you're a Swift, like even Swifties hate AI. Nobody likes it. So
No.
now there's an easy lane for Kendrick to attack him with. And so I
Hmm.
think that ultimately it's kind of like it feels like he didn't I don't know if he didn't think this through, but you know sometimes you get an idea and then you're like, "Oh, this is going to be dope." And then you do it and then after you're like, "Oh, that was all right."
That was better in my head
Yeah,
than
that was better. Like this is kind of what it kind of feels like 7 minute drill where J. Cole just got in the studio, decided to freestyle and do some stuff, and then afterwards he realized like, oh, that was kind of whack. It kind of ended up feeling rushed. It was a good
Mhm.
idea, but it kind of felt rushed. And at that point, Drake needed someone on his team to be like, let's let's not have Tupac rap because he's dead.
Right. But you know what? At
Let's
least
just go ahead.
it's shown Drake is hungry for it.
Hmm.
And
Drake wants it.
that's how like whatever I don't think whatever Kendrick says will be the end. Like I know there is another Drake but like his gun is loaded. Like there
Yeah.
are more chambers here.
And I feel like Drake doesn't have to take this down like J. Cole did with 7 minute drill. Like
No.
J. Cole had to delete that album off of streaming. It was that bad.
I mean, I hope this track doesn't get released on streaming. I will say.
Yeah, yeah. But
Like
like because I don't think it's on I think it's just on YouTube and like SoundCloud. But like J. Cole took it
yeah.
off of everything that he could take it off of. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure it's still on YouTube because people that downloaded it already like reposted it as they do with
Hmm.
tracks and stuff.
I
Um
still have it on my phone just to save it.
like I
Because now
can't
I don't
even
want to
listen
delete
to
it.
because I use YouTube Music and I'm pretty sure I could find it, but like again, the Might Delete Later album, I can't even go see it. So this feels like it doesn't feel as bad, but it does kind of feel right. Like it feels like Drake was feeling really good after his push-ups diss and was like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, I'm feeling myself." And
Right.
he just kind of swung and didn't really look exactly where he was hitting. I think he'll be ready for the comeback, and I think it's going to be great. And I hope they go at it for the rest of this year, honestly. And I hope it
Mhm.
becomes one of those iconic beefs like Drake and like oh god, like Biggie and Pac and Jay Z and Nas. Um, I feel like Taylor Swift is tired of having rappers talk about her.
Yeah.
She's like,
That
what
would
do
be
I have to do with hip hop music at all?
that's its own like separate, because I was thinking about that too, between like the Kanye thing, but way back in the day when she was more country. Like, what is the obsession? But that's for another deep dive
Yeah,
of
like
the obsession with Taylor Swift and hip hop.
I mean, maybe we'll have to do her new album and like talk about that on the album and what the obsession is. Because it seems like there shouldn't really be one. But anyway, I guess are there well, I guess we kind of we took so long talking about the beef. I feel like we just need to make a new episode and actually talk about Take Care. So even though we said we were going to talk about Take Care on this specific episode, I'll just post these back to back. This episode will be about Tailor Made, and we're going to talk about Take Care next. But I guess, do you have any closing thoughts on Tailor Made and this brewing Kendrick Drake beef?
I just know that I think if anything, like Drake is just hyping up Kendrick's, like he's just sharpening Kendrick's blade here. Like Kendrick is gonna come and swing in, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, in a way, I almost feel like it's good that I feel like Drake almost like threw him a bone with the AI thing
mhm,
and is like, here's some material, use it, come at me.
right,
And like I said, if Drake has like a deeper plan, I will be so impressed with if like, Kendrick drops a diss and Drake is like, yeah, I knew you were gonna try to make fun of the AI stuff and like goes off. Like
right.
that would be a power chess move that we just weren't really seeing until then. So
Yeah.
I guess only time will tell. But if I'm a Kendrick fan, I'm nervous. Kendrick, you got to respond. I don't think
Hmm.
this is Kendrick's not going to see this. Well, this isn't going to really
Kendrick,
affect the
no, it's okay. I'm seeing it. I'm
right, right. I don't think this is going to affect like who's the best rapper in hip hop, but I think bottom line, Kendrick has got to respond.
hmm. He's got it. He put pressure on it. And
Yep.
pressure pressure can is where you can slip up. When you're leading the charge, it's a lot easier to feel confident and make confident moves. When you are being pressured into something, it's a lot easier to mess up. So
Yep.
Hendrick's got more at stake with whatever response he puts out. But I don't think he's going to have a hard time, because if we're seeing potential for like good responses
Yeah,
here,
he's
I
got to be
think
seeing
Kendrick's
that.
already got it in the bag.
Yeah, so
So
we'll
only
talk
time
about
will tell. Only time will tell to see how this all plays out. But at least we're in for some good dissing.
and I'm excited because I feel like hip hop has been in a I'm not gonna say like a bit of a lull lately, but with all of the just so much mumble rap coming out and it becoming so popular, it feels like this is a good way to get back to roots. You know what I mean? Like get back to like the gritty hip hop.
Oh
You
shoot, are we
can't
talking about
mumble.
we talking about the roots?
Oh, maybe we are. Maybe we are.
Maybe we should.
But you can't do mumble rap. You can't mumble rap your way through this. You know what I mean? Like beefs have no place in mumble rap because you can't understand what they're saying. So this I think it feels good. I think the hip hop community as a large, especially the older hip hop community, is like we kind of need this. So we will
Mhm.
see. And
We'll see.
we'll catch you guys next time when we talk about Take Care, like we said we were going to.
Until then, take care.
Until then.